What's going on, guys? Ben here, Enos Tech, and today we're taking a look at the CM Storm Sentinel 3 gaming mouse. Now, this mouse features an ergonomical palm grip with a large body on it. It can change between 4 different DPI settings on the fly. It's got a great Avago sensor in it for good precision and tracking and everything. And it has a 1 millisecond response rate, which is good. So it means as you're doing things, it should register almost instantly. There should be no input lag or anything like that. Before we get too much into this, why don't we have a quick closer look at the mouse itself and some of the lighting things you can do through the software, and then I'll go ahead and give some final thoughts at the end. Alright, so here it is, the CM Storm Sentinel 3. Before we go ahead and look into the special features, take a quick walk around the mouse and see what we have. We of course have the normal left and right finger buttons there, nothing too fancy. But you'll also notice there's a button at the top of the scroll wheel and a couple at the bottom. Now, the one at the top of the scroll wheel is so you can go ahead and set your profile. As you can see, you can choose up to 5 profiles, each of which you can customize and set up to your desired effect depending on game or whatever you want. These 2 ones here at the bottom are, of course, our DPI sensors, which you can set up differently to each profile. There's 4 different options here, so you can have 4 different DPI levels. So you can easily just click through your profiles, hit your designated preferred DPI, and you're off to go depending on the game you play. As you'll also notice on the bottom, on the right of that LCD screen there, is a little ET logo. That, of course, is for the Enos Tech. Through the CM Storm software, which we'll take a closer look at in the written part of the review, you can add an image of up to 32 by 32 pixels, though it does have to be a BMP because obviously this is not a full LCD screen, so it does have some downsides to it. But again, it's kind of fun. You can add yourself a little logo there, clan symbol of some sort. You just have to have a play with it and make sure that you like what it says. Of course, my ET logo fits in there quite nicely, so I was very happy with that. Moving on to the left hand side of the mouse, as you can see, there's a nice thumb area here that when you're holding it, your thumb just kind of slots in there perfectly. It's quite nice, it's comfortable, ergonomic, and there are also 2 buttons. Now, they're originally designated for forward and backward, but you can of course set them up to do different things through the software that's easily downloadable, and also of course in game you can of course bind them to do whatever you want. Moving around to the right side, nothing there, just a kind of, as you can see, there's a nice little curvature there, so your hand fits in there nice. Like I said, it is a big palm grip, a bigger style mouse. It's got the bigger butt here, as I would call it, and it really fits into your hand nicely. In all honesty though, coming from an ambidextrous mouse, it does take a bit of getting used to. Especially for gaming, though it is very comfortable once you start using it. You feel it is great. Another thing to take note of is the 2 different LED zones. Now we can of course see this one here that also changes as I change DPI or profiles. Well, no, not changing on profiles, but as you change DPI profiles, you can have that lighting zone change a different color. Now, of course, this is set to be up the 16.8 million color spectrum, and there are 2 lighting zones. We have that one here, and then on the front of the mouse, as you can see, I know it's probably a bit blurry, there are 2 there that kind of come out the front. So if there's no lights on, I know you can kind of see it coming out there a little bit. If there's no lights on, it kind of puts a little illumination out the front of the mouse, which looks cool. It's a nice little effect. Again, these can of course be changed in the software to different colors, and they also have a few different mode. So let's go ahead and look at those different modes. As you can see here, we've got the static mode, which is pretty much just constantly on. We can go ahead and, pardon me, turn it off. As you can see now, the LED has gone off. We have the full spectrum mode, which I don't appear to have set up properly. Alright, so be it. There's the rapid fire mode, which is probably my favorite mode. It's just a bit fun. Like you see, as you can see, as you hit the button, the lights change colors. Nothing too fancy, go from one color to another, but it's just something that looks cool. I mean, it's just a neat effect to have. And then of course we have the infamous breathing mode, breathing LEDs on everything, which this goes over very well, especially for those trying to showcase things, show it off. Boom, it looks good. For a bit more in-depth look at the software, please make sure to check out the written review on enistech.com when it's live, as I'll have some more pictures of the software itself and go over things a bit better. But that's pretty much it for the closer look, so let me give a few final thoughts and wrap this up. Alright, so there we have it. We took a closer look at the CM Storm Sentinel 3 gaming mouse. Now, as we saw, it features an ergonomic palm grip, has a great Avago sensor, which we'll cover a bit more in the review. We'll go into detail about the precision tracking it has to offer. There are 2 different RGB LED zones, which we can change with a number of features through the software, which again, we will make sure to take a closer look at that when the full review is live. I've been using this mouse for a couple of weeks now, and I have to say, overall, it's a good mouse. It's definitely worth checking out if you're into the ergonomic palm grip thing. Yeah, I would say that is going to be the biggest upside or downfall to it is it depends on your preferred grip style. As far as the mouse goes, it features the Avago, I believe it's the 3988 sensor, which we all know Avago sensors are great. And yeah, it's a good mouse. It will come down to your grip and how you hold the mouse and what you need it to do. Now, some people may like a bit higher DPI, even though most people will say you don't need higher than 4,000 to 6,000. So this mouse should have a lot of consumers covered. Again, we'll take a more in-detail look at it through the review, the written review on enistech.com, so make sure to check for that. And yeah, we'll go ahead and conclude this here so I don't ramble on too much. As always, thank you guys for watching, and please stay tuned in the future for more content.